Let me show you my nylon string acoustic guitar instrumental version of Jingle Bells. I'm taking a simple song and I'm spicing it up a little bit with some jazzy chords, and I'm going to do a slap on beats 2 and 4. I'll play the whole thing right now, and then I'll talk about some of the chords I'm using and how I'm playing this. Okay, you can see I put the names of the chords there on the screen, and you may have also seen the words minor plagal. That's when we take the 4 chord and go to the 1. In this key would be F major to C major. That's called a plagal cadence when we go from the 4 to the 1. But you can make that 4 minor, and it's much more sentimental, a little more dramatic, and you hear it a lot in Christmas songs, like that Mariah Carey song has it, and many others. But it's not just a Christmas thing. We hear it in all kinds of music, even in rock songs. What's happening there is we're taking a chord from the parallel minor key, F minor, and resolving to C major. So before I even started playing the chords, I set everything up by playing this beat here. I have several videos on this where I go more in depth about this beat. There's a lot of things that we could call it. I have a video where we play a Marvin Gaye song, and I'm calling it like a soul kind of R&B groove. And I have another lesson with this beat that I call the techno slap, where we play quarter note triplets underneath this groove. But the goal here is to play on the 2 and the 4 and to never deviate from that. Of course, there's a spot in the middle where we play harmonics, and we'll stop there. But we just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And underlying that, we're going to have a little bit of a 16th groove happening. We're going. See that first block chord that I played? Happened on the last 16th note of the first beat. We're going 1 E and a slap, right? 1 E and a 2. Then after that, it's a little bit simpler because we're just playing a block chord and letting that last for 3 16th notes. Now I'm playing this in the key of C. It could be in any key, and it's a pretty simple harmony. We're playing the 1 chord to the 4, which we would expect, to the 1, the 5, even a D minor in there. Nothing weird about that, but there is a weird chord in there, a D7. We would call that a secondary dominant. That's the 5 of the 5. That's the 5 of G. So this gives us, again, some extra drama to get into G. But what we can do on a major chord is make that a major 7. The C major 7 will happen. Not every time, because it undermines the melody sometimes if we do this. So in some cases I'm playing a regular old C chord and a regular F chord, which I played like this, not the full way, so that I could get some other melody notes in there. But sometimes I'm going to play F major 7. The chord that definitely takes us to C the most, or wants to resolve to C the most, would be G7. So I'm taking that and playing it many ways in the song. One way would be sharp, taking the 5 and sharping it. You could call it also a flat 13. I'm calling it a sharp 5. Augmented 7th chord. So I'm starting that way as kind of an intro. Now, like I said, we're trying to keep the beat going on 2 and 4, slapping those strings. I'm using my knuckles here to slap, but I'm not making a fist like this, because if I did, I would have to retract my fingers in order to immediately play this block chord or whatever is coming next. So try to slap the strings into a block chord. So I'm grabbing the string, then I'm just gonna slap. So a lot of that volume of the slap is coming from my thumb, kind of just whipping it like that, so that I'm ready to go on a chord. So at the beginning, I'm going. So in between those slaps, I'm trying to get that melody happening there without killing it. So sometimes I might only play 3 strings here because that's the melody note there. I can't play any higher than that. bar right there, a hinge bar. I'm kind of keeping the bar, but I'm letting go here. It looks like a hinge. Now here on the screen I said D minor 7 to G7, but I simply did that this way, which is kind of cool. So I got the root of D and the melody up there, but I'm just playing open strings in between. They're in the key, okay? And then slide this down, and here's your G7. And then, before we get to the main chorus of Jingle Bells, this altered dominant 7th chord really has some tension in it, sounds cool. And then we have the chorus. There's our jazzy major 7th right there. Now F major 7, back to C major 7. The second time though, instead of doing that, I made it minor. That's our minor plagal. Definitely has a more Christmassy vibe, don't you think? D minor 7. Right here we kind of have a C sus chord, but then immediately kind of goes to a regular C there. And then D7 over F sharp. There's G7, and we have a kind of a big break here. So I'm playing harmonics there. These 3 strings, that's a G chord built into the guitar. Strings 4, 3, and 2. Harmonics on the 12th fret. And then if you do them also on the 5th fret, that's an octave above that. So it's the same notes. Kind of a time filler, time killer there. And it sounds fancy, but it's not. Or minor. Now here's the end of the song, playing G7. The melody goes to A, but I'm adding that sharp 5 again. That's just a G7 chord using the D7 shape. So it looks like a D7, but it's way up here. And then I slide my pinky up. I love this chord. C6-9. And magically, we can go to the 4 chord by moving this finger down 1 string, and now we have an F6-9, which is kind of weird. Same chord, but different root. And that's just a little outro that I made up. And then hammering on from the open E string. And then of course I snuck in a little Joy to the World. I have a habit of doing that at the end of Christmas songs that are in a major key, because Joy to the World, the melody, that opening melody, is a reverse or descending major scale. So if you know how to play a major scale, whatever key you're in, just play it from the root and go backwards, and you have instant Joy to the World. If you were to perform the song, I would definitely stretch it out because it's pretty short, and you could just in the middle just play some chords that are in the key. Maybe some chord progressions like. I've got tabs for all kinds of songs like this in my holiday songs collection, a PDF for every song and a play along video. You can get that at the link below. I have a version of We Three Kings, which I think is pretty cool, in a Spanish style, Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy, a bunch of classics. Check it out, and I'm adding to it all the time. What about Silent Night? I'm glad you asked. Check it out right here.